just keep renting.
I'm like, should I not rent this space because I'll never own it? Like, you're paying for something.
That's different.
No, but you're paying for something though. When you rent anything, you're paying for you're occupying it. I'm sleeping there. I'm showering there. I'm paying for something.
I like this because I like this talk because it is very much like that. It's like, okay, you are getting exactly what you want from it, and maybe I don't want to be completely here. I want to come home. I don't want to worry about if the damn toilet don't work or if the roof start leaking. I don't want to deal with it. I just want to come here. I want to lay my head. I want to stack my money, and I want to invest in other things. You can get that with a house too.
But let them do
with the house. If something go wrong, you got to pay for it.
Get a warranty.
Get a warranty. Come on, man.
You pay a monthly fee for the warranty.
You really stuck on this.
You better learn how to use a plunger.
I know.
Yeah. All right, it's your boy Jay.
What we got?
Man, we forgot the intro.
I gotta go. I thought we was going to order seats.
No, okay, my bad.
I'm Thomas.
I'm Ashley Booker.
And I'm Brittany Clayton.
All right. This is Musing Around. We have Brittany on as an additional guest. Happy to have you. We got the full cast here today.
Yeah, we do.
Yes, it's good. We about to jump into things. Muse. How's everyone feeling? How's the week been?
I'm tired. I told Ash earlier, man. I'm grinding. You know what I'm saying? It's nice to sit down and relax, talk a little bit with the fam.
Okay.
So, I was waiting to get out the house.
Yeah, no, agreed.
Yeah. Now I can agree with that. It's been a long week for me. I'm like, whew. I need some extra coffee.
Coffee therapy, whatever. Like, I call this therapy for myself, and I just think that, like, I don't know. It's been one of those weeks. Interesting business things, interesting life things, interesting everything. But I'm not going to bore anybody with that. We can kind of get to it.
Yeah, listen, I'm ready.
I'm sure it's going to bleed in some of the topics.
It is. We're going to muse. I'm ready today. So we didn't discuss this beforehand, but it's one thing I saw. I kind of sent to you all before. So 3-6 Mafia. Everyone familiar?
Yeah.
I guess heavily familiar. So I saw a post. I sent it to you all. Y'all check it.
Yeah.
Except for probably maybe Brittany.
Brittany's like,
okay. What? We got to fill Brittany in.
It's okay.
Right.
What happened?
She knows 3-6 Mafia.
Yeah.
I know they
now,
are.
who was it on the video specifically?
Koopsta.
Yeah, it's Koopsta.
Okay, yeah, it was. All right, so he's in the video, and what he's explaining in the video is that like 3-6 Mafia, the 666 3-6s was. He did all of that because he was heavy into devil worshiping at the time. Satanic type of belief. He was saying how he had the reverse upside down Bible, whatever it is, and all the extra tangibles that went with that. But he said he made it 666 or 3-6 Mafia to get black people okay with sadistic type of things.
So he said the devil made him do it.
Listen. I don't think
the devil made him do it.
At the time of the interview, look, at the time of the clip, I don't think he was believing that at that moment. He was just speaking on the past, where he's traveled,
of like kind of like how they got their situation,
and then why he did it. But what he said in the clip was, and we'll throw the clip in.
What everybody think the 666 was, man? I knew back in the day when I was listening to them what he was.
I didn't really
what they
think
were talking
about
666.
I always knew what it was.
Yeah, I knew what it was.
I knew some satanic shit.
I didn't even think about it. I never thought about it. 3-6 Mafia. I mean,
because they were borderline on. They were the whole what's his name from KC.
Tech Nine.
Tech Nine, and that whole kind of genre of rap right there.
Yeah,
they were kind of right there with it, except they were more because I'm more hip hop than the Tech Nine. They were straight. The beats and everything was hit, but they had the message
too, by the
in
way.
their
I say
their
some
music.
of the best production. I mean, crazy.
Yeah, DJ Paul.
Juicy J
still
too.
doing it, man. I watch DJ Paul online all the time right now.
Yeah, I know, but
he remixes the shit from back in the day.
But
his own shit. Like he will remix it and do some.
I don't know if all of them are
stuff with it.
But how he was framing it was
he was
definitely
possessed,
worshiping the devil, and he was trying to figure out ways to make the black culture comfortable.
I almost walked off the podcast just now.
I know it was some. It was some crazy.
It got a little hot in here
sorry,
for some folks.
I know,
literally.
It's all good.
Now it blew my mind in terms of just like. I never thought about it, so it was news for me. And I was
for him to say it like that and admit and say like, "Hey, this is exactly what I was doing." It wasn't for me, the 666 was entertainment. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But he had like an agenda.
Yeah,
he was
saying from literally had an agenda.
That's kind of scary.
Which is a little scary.
Did he achieve it?
I think it's more. I don't know.
Music is powerful.
Yeah, music is powerful now. But like, but as far as like his agenda and it's about how complicit everybody else was. I don't want to throw. Yeah. I don't want to throw the whole group under the bus.
It kind of just breezed through like nobody knew what he was talking about. You know what I'm saying?
You can't. But at one point he did say he threw a couple. I felt like, and I have to go back and watch it to be fair. He threw a couple weeds in there. I felt like a couple times. Again, I'm just going off of what his interview was in the clip. Maybe we'll throw it on the screen. But
the content of what he was rapping about, what do rappers rap? Some rappers rap.
I mean, they was rapping also. They was rapping some. You know what I'm saying?
So I mean, is it different than what everybody else was doing?
Or is it?
But he had a different agenda.
Does everybody have that same agenda if they rapping the same thing? You know what I mean? But he throws his sixes in there.
But he knew specifically that makes it different.
Yeah. That's a whole nother level.
So what do you think about the rest of the people? I want to hear her take.
Why you want to hear mine? Because our talk earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, Biggie had some pretty.
We had a Jesus talk earlier. Yeah, it changed his life.
It did, and I'm appreciative of it.
Yeah, he's a born again.
That's sweet. No. Come to Jesus talk. I wish
sometimes
I was
you gotta
there
have
for
them.
that.
Right? Y'all making fun, and we were serious.
No, we were serious.
It touched the heart. No, I'm sorry. If I would have known that, then
but
I
back
would.
To 666.
Right, I wouldn't have been listening to it had I known. I'm right, saying that. No.
The beats was too good.
I know.
No,
women was shaking.
I would have went delete so quick.
All kinds of stuff.
No,
they was part of a ritual. Didn't even know.
Wow.
Didn't even know it.
But what we're saying is the content they were speaking about is everybody else.
They shit they was rapping about wasn't positive either though.
You know what I'm saying? Like
we know that.
No.
But that shit, most of the shit ain't. So it is what it is.
No, but it makes you think, and I'm not gonna go down too far down the rabbit hole. It makes you think like, man, if 3-6 Mafia, that was that. But then like think what else, right, is touching that, right? You know what I mean?
A lot of it.
Of course. And I don't think it's specific just to rap. Let's be real with you. I think
it's all. It can definitely be broader than that.
Yeah, definitely broader than that. But yeah, that was one crazy thing. I was like, I did not know they was up there doing some devil worshiping on the 3-6.
So you gonna still listen to him?
Well, he was. Allegedly, we don't know if everybody else was on that.
True. Correction.
Allegedly. I guess to be fair, they ain't said it.
Okay, so question: you still gonna listen?
I mean, it's one of my favorite groups.
Yeah, it's like that. Whoops. It's like that one dude, the Piper argument. You know what I'm saying? Piper argument. We stopped listening. What about people are starting to draw the line with Yeezy though, because of his political views and what he's saying. I think more people are saying I'm boycotting Yeezy than they are saying I'm boycotting Kels.
Well, I think Kels is long
it's too much time.
Yeah, long gone.
Too much time.
Yeah.
They're loyal, yeah.
I mean, people still care, but you know what I'm saying. But it's so much time.
So much time. So now we can. It's been enough time, so we can kind of
you can listen to it.
Listen to it again.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They wanted to listen the whole time, low key.
I don't think time matters in that aspect.
I know. No. I'm not condoning anything. You know, he's accused of. I'm just saying that, just in general, like I just think that it's just been so far removed from like the actual like it's like it's like a top headline topic that everybody's really discussing to where of course we're gonna get Kanye, you know what I'm saying, or Ye, like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
we gonna
y'all listen to the new one.
Yeah, and it's fire
on YouTube. Yeah,
you know what?
He got an album he put out on YouTube.
Can we just say this? You can't beat him like that,
man.
You're not gonna be able to beat him that way.
I feel like people are desensitized to Kanye and his different his ebb and flow. I put it like that. I feel like everyone's used to it now to a certain degree. So he may say something that may have reactions from people. Then after that, people calm down and they get over it.
Why are we still like thinking it's like shocking that he says something?
Right.
It's not. That's my point. I don't think.
But people are still like, oh my God, how dare he? Well, he's been how dare he?
They're so used to people being like, now, but he's a master marketer, so he understands how to get everybody's attention quick. You just say some shit that's against the grain.
Yeah. Or just
call some stuff.
Yeah.
Or how about you do like you did and just put out fire music and you don't have to say shit.
Well, I think he's bigger than music.
Yeah, that's what I think too. I think at this point,
so why have to, if he's doing it, if he's saying the bullshit for publicity and
I'm not saying he don't believe that
bullshit.
I'm not saying he don't believe the shit. I just say he's just not walking around censored. So he understands I'll just be uncensored right now. I got a project. I got something to drop.
I do love that he's able as a black man to say what the fuck he wants to say though.
He does. Listen, you know what?
Yeah, I would drink to that.
No matter what he says, good or bad.
I'm not
he's
mad
able
at
to say it without, you know what I mean?
Listen, it's a time and a place where some people
negative or positive, you know what I mean? He's out here saying his shit on Super Bowl commercials, bro. You know what I mean?
Well, if you got the money.
Yeah. True. Yeah. No, it's a different time and age we're in right now. Like if you went back in the past, I'm sure people like, you said what on TV and they didn't do what? Oh, okay.
Well, I think the thing is he always has his one thing though.
Mm-hmm.
He has a card. You can always be, that's Kanye, he crazy.
That's because he's done it so many times.
But I'm just trying to say is that, but that's a card.
It is.
So therefore, it's kind of like a get out of jail free card.
He's proven you can't cancel him too.
It's because you can always say, he's crazy.
He's a nut.
I think people said enough to that point.
I'm just saying, I think that's your get out of jail free card.
Yeah.
I think that's
just Ye being Ye.
It's just Ye being Ye. But honestly, Ye he be kicking some shit. But I'm not saying like now when it starts to get into different people's their religions and all that type. Like I'm not into bashing anybody for what they believe.
Or when he brings the kids in, he said some shit about some kids.
What did he say?
You gotta leave the kids out.
He said.
Oh, I heard about.
I wish
that.
I don't have.
What did he say?
He said something about
Jay-Z. Oh yeah,
that's not right.
Yeah, that's not right. That's not right.
Yeah.
You gotta leave the kids out. Like keep it to the adults. You know what I'm saying? Leave the kids out. They don't belong in that.
But he's Kanye.
But like I think using as an example, you just don't know. You don't know your celebrities that much. You don't know what they're really into. You don't know what drives them to do the things they do. These entertainers, these people, and that's good or bad. But certain things has happened over the course of history, and like it makes you think. It makes you wonder: was every celebrity that was taken down? Was it all pure? Was it all because they did something bad? I also saw something about like it was another clip on Michael Jackson, and they were talking through the reason why.
Said all the like controversial artists.
No, you know what I love about this? I love about this. It was like this. Hey man, we're gonna be safe. We're gonna be real calm on this podcast today. No, we not. Go ahead. Proceed. Let's go.
It's relevant.
Yeah,
because we start off what we're talking about with
3 6 Mafia with Kusa,
right? Yeah. And I guess what I'm saying is this: like, you start to unravel that buffer between you and the celebrity and what you perceive them to be and what they're doing, right? But the clip was talking about how Michael Jackson specifically, the reason why he was taken down, and this is allegedly, the clip was saying the reason why he was taken down was because Sony at the time, a specific person in Sony, wanted to get out of the 50-50 deal that he had with Michael Jackson with ATV. And they did some op-eds on Wacko Jacko, all kind of stuff, and they was explaining the timing of a lot of things when it came up around the time when Michael Jackson was looking to sell. If you didn't know, backstory a little bit, Michael Jackson did a 50-50 deal with Sony, and that was because he bought up a bunch of the masters of a lot of the artists around him. Elvis, before then, Beatles. At some point, he just figured out like, I'm gonna make the money that the people at these labels are making. So he just started, doing the same strategy to the point where he had so many that Sony had to turn and go,
wait a second, black man.
Let me go ahead and, how about you just partner with us? Because you got a lot of these masters. We need to partner together. So they partnered and he kept buying even more of a catalog and kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where it made them a little bit nervous. And then he just said, forget it. I'm just going to sell my shares and I'll sell my 50% stake in this venture, Sony ATV, to your competitor. So after that, all of a sudden you start seeing, again, this is on the video, the clips, you started seeing a bunch of news articles around Michael Jackson touching kids, him going to court over the kid at his house, some,
So you don't think he did that?
Well, from the video, it was stating that it was all contrived from basically Sony trying to take down Michael Jackson to get at what he had. Do
you think he did all those things?
Apparently he didn't, because they were saying that if you look through the FBI when they they have it's all public.
It was like 10,000 pages.
Yeah, 10,000 pages, and they found nothing.
Film.
They literally found nothing. They went through his whole mansion and found nothing. So if you find nothing, I can only perceive that nothing was happening. Because
especially when we talk about like one of those, the alphabet agencies, right?
Yeah.
They wouldn't know.
Come on.
If someone's supposed to know, they supposed to know.
Man. And it's not like they got a reason to protect.
Yeah.
And I'm not
At
saying
this point, he in the grave.
yes.
I'm just saying that if there was a point to even finish him off, they can just publicize something right now, right?
Yeah.
It's been enough time.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. So it just goes to show you.
Yeah.
Everyone getting quiet like, oh my gosh.
You think the same thing happened to Cosby that we'll find out later?
I don't know.
Cosby was trying to do some stuff with his studio too.
With NBC. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah. Oh, he was able to buy NBC. Yeah,
he was trying.
I did not know.
Yeah,
that.
And then around that same time when the deals were going down, and that's when
shit hit the fan.
Everything hit the fan.
Yeah, I think you gotta be careful on these streets. You gotta move. You gotta move silent. You gotta be careful how you put together.
Well, it's hard to move silent.
You can only be so silent when you're successful,
right? And when you're making power plays like that,
right?
Those are power plays.
Well, I guess I meant
that's taking down infrastructure. That's owning ownership.
I meant it from the perspective of be careful how you party in these streets. You know what I mean?
But I don't even know. I don't even know if you can be careful of that.
You can't have fun.
If I was gonna be an owner,
fun,
if I can't be an owner,
I can't tell nobody. I can't enjoy it.
I can be an owner.
Yeah. You just gotta.
I just gotta own certain things.
Just don't go out and stay right here.
I gotta own certain
stay right here in Creative Labs. Don't go nowhere. Okay. Don't go nowhere.
Until Creative Labs.
When I come in here, I want you right here.
Be like, Creative Labs is Creative Labs. Yeah. But
yeah.
I guess we'll touch back on the podcast then. Hopefully, God willing, right?
Good gosh.
All right. Yeah.
No, it's getting weird out there in those streets, man.
I don't know if it's getting weird. I think it's always been weird. Yeah. I mean, we're talking about things that happened a long time ago.
True. Some of it recent, some of it a long time ago. I agree.
I mean, for the most part, these are like, these are things I think maybe that have been happening. I don't know, like for a long period of time.
Nah, yeah. I feel like we know.
I think we know.
We know. We're skating around it right now. We're still looking for some sponsors. If you want to know.
No, man, I thought we were supposed to be safe today. I was over. I thought we were talking about relationships, love and hip hop, basketball. I don't know what we was. I was like, whoa.
We got my mics.
What we got going on?
Right. As soon as it's ever live.
It was hard for me not to talk about that though, because I was like, what? It was a surprise to be the first one.
No, but absolutely. I think all of these stories do have a commonality here.
Yeah.
I just think that, like, regardless of what a person believes, they got the right to believe what they want. Mm-hmm. If the man want to worship the devil, worship the devil. I mean, look, I understand people not gonna like it, but I'm just trying to say, what's the same way if I worship God, like, okay, then the person who worships the devil might not like me.
Okay,
I'm just saying,
I'm gonna take
I have a right to do what I want, right?
I'm gonna take your line of thought. I'm gonna apply it to something different. So it's okay for a woman to cheat or a man to cheat because that's what they do.
Yes, if that's what they do. You are alive. Like, who cares? I mean, for real.
You need to care.
Okay, why, Brittany?
Okay, never mind.
I care about humanity.
Oh, no, don't calm her down now. Yeah. The lights are on.
You said, why would we care?
Yeah.
Because we are human beings and we all have our own opinions. I do care if you don't believe in God, but
no, we're not talking about that. We said we
said worship the devil.
No, we said no, and then we brought it into.
I said cheat.
He said
and then
cheat.
He responded about based off of cheating.
Yeah, and then I went back because I was leading to something, but it's okay. You didn't let me land.
I'm sorry.
Cheating involves another person.
Right.
Worshiping the devil, you're doing it yourself.
By yourself. You're not hurting another person per se,
That's
except
what
for
you
yourself.
Think. No,
okay.
but
a ritual takes. Now I'm just saying.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean,
but you said, why would they care?
Well, I'm saying if that's just who you are, that's who you are.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
Okay.
For like cheating,
cheater. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I think with anything in life, if that's who you are, and you make it like, I think it's worse when a person lie to a person. Like, hey, Koosa nigga went on the thing. He's like, yo, this is what I was on.
Yeah.
You gotta just be like, okay, cool.
If you cheat,
you're lying. Or if it's a person who's like racist, like, yo, I don't like black people. All right, cool. Like, at least they have said it. Like,
so just admitting it and saying it is okay with you.
I think if you do that, then you're not concealing anything from the other party. So at that point, it's the other party's choice to either deal with you or not.
So I say I'm a murderer. That's cool, even though you don't agree. It's cool because I'm admitting it.
If you're admitting that you're a murderer, it's up to me to be friends with you.
For forgiveness.
All I'm just saying.
Like,
it's okay after that, right?
Like, we got to stand for something. So you say something I don't agree with, I'm going to tell you.
No, and that's fine. But I'm saying, but we don't. But we can also after that conversation, we can both part ways and agree to disagree, right?
Okay.
I'm like, yo, you kill people? Damn, that's messed up. Like, I ain't going around her no more.
Okay.
Yo, have a good night.
Not that that's messed up.
And we close the door and put some wood up on it. Like, yo, make sure she can't get back in here.
We went from freedom of speech to murder.
Yeah, like, I got me a white person mission here. Like, what are we on?
She's a murderer. Worshiping to murdering to cheating.
She's a murderer.
I'll be like, my access code isn't working at the Code of Blacks anymore.
I don't know what's happening. And I'm scared to make you mad because you're a murderer. I'm just like, I don't know. Call Jay. I'll put that on Jay.
Listen, it's going to be all nothing but smiles and kid gloves. And hey, listen, have whatever you want. No, but everyone makes their decisions on how they want to do things. But I think everyone has a moral compass.
But isn't transparency everything? No. I think that's what we're getting to. Yeah. Isn't transparency everything?
But if you're transparent, you're not cheating.
Well, no, you can't.
That's still.
Oh my God!
Wait, what?
You know what I'm saying?
Wait, no.
Yes, thank you.
If you're being transparent, you're not cheating.
If
your partner is okay with it,
if they okay
it's not
with
cheating
it
anymore.
We live in a crazy world, Brittany.
You're assuming they're okay with it.
Yeah, if your partner's okay with it.
If they're not okay with
cheating.
it and you're transparent, you're saying it's still okay?
They can find another partner.
We
live on a planet with billions of
people. But if you're telling them what you're doing.
Hey, yeah, just so you know, I'm about to stab you in the back, but I'm just letting you know ahead of time, so it's cool.
But you cheated.
Y'all sound real crazy. Can we have another topic? I'm sorry.
Hey, let me tell something to Brittany. Like, what about when everything goes Brittany's way? Now go.
I don't want that. No, I don't want that. No.
That reminds me of that weekend. I'd rather lie than, you know what I'm saying? Rather lie than to lose you.
Yeah, brother.
Ooh. Okay, is that better? That's a good question.
What's the question?
Is it better for a guy to lie? Let's just say a person is doing reckless stuff out here. Is it better for them to serve you up a lie?
No.
You want them to tell you the truth?
Yeah, but tell me the truth doesn't make it okay. I thought that's what you were alluding to.
No, I'm just saying that it's your choice to stay.
Of course. I'm not staying. No.
Well, see, that's all I'm saying. Just give people a choice.
Some might.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying in life. Just give everybody a choice. Like I think concealing is it concealing the worst thing you could do to anybody?
No. That's not the worst thing.
Concealing? Probably not. You know, you could.
Yeah, that's the worst thing you could.
Doing it.
Personally, that's the worst thing you do to me. Don't fucking lie to me.
That's the bad thing.
Well, I tell you.
I mean, I think there's levels. You know, just walking in and seeing it in the act. You did it in the bedroom. Oh my gosh!
But if she told you.
Oh my God. Okay.
Dirty.
But if she when you get home, you're gonna have to.
It's okay.
Take the sock off the door.
He's gonna heal some, and we'll come back to this topic.
All right, we'll go somewhere else.
Oh my God.
We end up getting on this relationship tangent.
I know. I don't want.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah.
Y'all talked about that last time.
It's Friday Eve. We need to be in a good mood.
Last time.
Friday Eve.
Yeah.
Friday Eve.
Yeah, you're right.
Show is.
Yeah.
Happy Friday Eve.
Well, tell me this. What you got planned?
For what? Friday?
Yeah.
Work.
Pretty.
That's all we do.
Work.
And then after?
We grind.
Work.
More work.
So
we in creative labs right now. We work, bro.
Exactly. That's all
we produce. We make stuff happen.
Oh man,
creativity.
You know what guys are so much fun.
What you gonna be doing?
Huh? What I'm gonna do?
Concealing.
I'm
sorry.
What are we talking about? We got what are we doing right now, baby? We got inside jokes flying back and forth. I'm trying to figure this out.
So anyway, that weekend song kind of sounded like Drake on that, didn't he?
Yeah, man. Hey, and he did a great job. Sounded like Drake. Yeah. No, but I do think that all these topics do play together.
Yeah. Well.
They would just bring it back home. Yeah. You know,
transparency.
It's all about sin and doing bad shit. 666.
Yeah. Don't get into the 666. That's the moral of the story.
That's what they were pushing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if that's what they want to do, Ash said it's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of.
It depends on what your bag is. You know what I'm saying?
What's the bag?
Are you cool with murder? You know what I'm saying?
Well, at least they told me.
Hey, there's a price for everything too.
At least they told us.
Yeah, yo. What? Keep it 100.
At least I mean,
I'm not agreeing with you. I was being sarcastic.
So let me ask this question.
I thought we were friends again.
So for each of us, opposite sex for each of us, if your spouse was doing some nefarious things, but they made you aware, right? I think I said this before. Would you go to jail if it meant allowing your spouse to get away with some of the nefarious things they were doing? Oof. Would you go to jail for them?
With them or for them? There's a difference. We going together, or I gotta go by myself and you stay free?
That's good.
It depends on the situation. How much at fault was she, and how much at fault was I?
I almost want to know both.
With or for?
Which one would you do? Which one would you rather? Well,
if we going together, depending on the circumstances, maybe.
Well, you're not gonna be together.
Okay, not literally together. Right. I just want to make sure that neither one of us is free.
We got that couple.
If it was your plan and I go and you don't go, I'm upset.
Give me the scenario. Do we have children?
Couples discount in prison.
We have children.
That's crazy.
We have children.
Yeah. So let's say let's create the backdrop. Let's say you have children. You have 2 kids, right? 2 kids together. And your spouse is like, for each of us, your spouse is like, you know what? I think I want to stay with the kids. Could you just go ahead and serve this time?
How long is it?
Yeah, who would do less time?
Well, I say it's 5 years. 5 years.
The man got to do that.
Oof.
5 years.
Kids,
but for the spouse, right? In our situation, it would be the girls that's doing something nefarious, right?
Yeah.
In Brittany's situation, it would be the man that's doing something nefarious.
Oh, I got you.
Okay.
Yeah. So y'all got to answer, because in my case, he going because he did it and he the man.
I'm afraid of jail. It's worst nightmare right there.
If
you might have to take this one, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if it's a kid,
dang, you be okay with your girl going?
Go ahead, man.
That's wild.
You know.
You said
take this one.
You think
I'm a better coach than you are. You know what I'm saying?
No.
I'm coaching all the teams right now.
Well, see,
you know what I'm saying?
So you should be able to coach.
I'm feeding the kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm livelihood.
They're at that age.
I'm making more dough.
Men do kick in more when they get a little older.
You know what I'm saying?
You have a good team on the inside.
If I'm in, what happens when fathers go in and the mom's stuck in a bad circumstance or everything? You know what I'm saying?
They got to fend off.
If I'm the breadwinner and maybe it's best.
Wait, is that the
maybe it's best I stay out.
Whoever the breadwinner is?
Ooh. Maybe it's best I stay out and continue to provide for my family.
We didn't have a joint account?
Is the money hid?
No money hid nowhere?
Y'all got to give me some. Give me context.
Right.
That's like, I need a lifeline if I'm going in. I need something.
So is there money hid?
Let's say you got 100K put away.
Oh, that's not enough.
No, that's not enough.
I know. I'm just saying it's 100K.
That's gonna last half the year for some people, not even.
I guess since
let's say it's 300K.
This is a good point you brought up though, because now I'm kind of worried about the earning.
Mm-hmm.
So like whoever makes the most goes.
Whoever makes the money needs to stay, right? Is that fair?
No.
I would think so.
Whoever makes the most stays.
The man just needs to go. Period.
Why?
But then what if y'all lifestyle go to shit?
We rebuild together.
And you gonna hold it down?
Nah,
she gonna be in that mug. Hey, by the way, hey, you haven't met him yet. This is our
no, I'm gonna hold it down.
You get home, you be like, what the fuck?
No. I'm gonna stay faithful. If we're married.
What if you're not married? If you're in a relationship?
Oh, you out. We gone.
Well, I'm not going to jail for the little guy. We're not for no damn boyfriend, girlfriend shit.
Y'all got kids though.
We're not married.
For boyfriend, girlfriend shit.
We're not married.
That ain't happening.
No. Biblically, I have no ties to you.
What about you, Thomas?
I already said, man. Yeah.
He said he's too soft for jail. That's what he said.
I don't do jail.
Yeah.
I don't do jail.
Hold on.
Hey, she's right. She's right.
He says his worst fear.
I'm not going there.
Ooh.
I've spent my life. Look,
damn, really like
those Stare Straight programs when I was a kid, they worked, yo. You know what I'm saying? I went to prison. I seen what goes on in prison.
He's so serious. That's why it's funny. It's almost cute.
That I've seen it. It's nowhere for me. It's nowhere for me to be.
And you would let your wife go.
And I've lived my life accordingly. You know what I'm saying?
But you would let your wife go for you. Wow.
Well, she did in his situation. She did the nefarious acts.
That sucks. What she did. You know what I'm saying?
That's
sorry for her.
She has to answer to her consequences there, man. Those are her consequences.
That's true. But you go visit her every weekend.
I would see her all the time.
There you go.
I might even move to the city,
Please.
you know, if it was in a different city or something. I'd move closer to it, and I'd bring the boys, you know what I'm saying?
There you go. You got your conjugal visits.
I'd stay faithful and hold it down, too, you know?
There you go. How many men been staying faithful? What's the stats on that?
I stay faithful.
That's got to be abysmal. Like the man that's got to jump off a cliff. Like, yeah, baby.
What's some men out here is faithful?
Yeah, it is.
Man, you're looking at 3 of them right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Cheers to that.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'm happy for y'all.
Yeah, listen.
Yeah.
Yes. For sure. You looking at look.
Why y'all looking?
Got real quiet and awkward after that, huh? After our black man don't cheat moment, it got real
I'm like,
quiet.
was y'all telling the truth? Why the silence afterwards?
We cheers it, so yeah.
See, what's that? What's that comment?
That's the
What's
truth.
that? What's that additive?
It was the awkwardness after. It's almost like are you lying? You're like, no, I'm not lying.
Just,
it felt like that, like you were.
Yeah,
it's just
It's all
coincidence.
good.
It just happened to get quiet. That's all.
Yeah, just a
doesn't mean
coincidence. It means
doesn't mean
nothing.
a thing.
You're right. Y'all the best man I know.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, see? There you go.
Yeah, outside of my dad.
So that Kendrick Lamar and Drake battle, we still talking about that?
Nah, I think that shit.
How about them cards? No cards. No.
Playboy Cardi album.
Oh boy, dude, he has a new fan in me. Real talk.
Nah,
I never thought I would like this dude.
Really?
I was cleaning the house the other day, and I was kind of, you know, I'm not gonna listen to it and like deep dive into because it's very elementary some of the shit. But I was nodding my head a little bit, you know.
How have you listened to
all
it?
the beep beep beeps? Kendrick come in there with them beep beep beep. Oh,
he had it loaded for the features. It did.
I
well.
can see how the kids kind of like that.
Yeah, it's hard. It's dope.
You know,
the more I listen to it, yep.
Really?
Yep.
I haven't even listened to it yet. I haven't checked it out to.
I haven't listened yet.
Nobody's on. We're old. We're old in here.
Well, I mean, he's on fire, and I mean, he has some songs that I think would even translate to some older people.
Yeah,
it won me over.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I don't know if I'm gonna go back and listen to a lot of his stuff.
Y'all old?
You know?
Huh?
Y'all are old.
I've had an old soul for a while since I was a kid.
Y'all are old.
Listen, I had a young soul.
Yeah.
I'm an old
That's
soul,
a lie.
but I'm not old. Yeah.
You say what?
He said like they were so old, like so much.
We're older than the demographic that listened to Playboy Cardi and just really grew up with him. We didn't grow up with Playboy Cardi.
Nah, yeah.
He been in the game for a long time now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair to him, yeah.
Definitely has.
It ain't like he just came out yesterday.
That's true.
Yeah.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
This is true. But yeah, it's a lot going on right now. Yeah, it's a lot going on.
Like what?
I mean, take your pick. You know what I mean?
What's Bitcoin doing? We ain't talked about that in a little bit.
Crypto?
What's Trump doing with that market? How do you ruin that shit?
He hasn't.
Huh?
It is, I would say, trading sideways, down but sideways. You know, it's mostly trading sideways. If you know crypto, you follow crypto, it goes up and down quite a bit. But yeah, I think it's just people are waiting for some things to settle, the dust to settle, waiting for the Fed to come back with what they're going to do. And I think they already have.
That's going to make a big.
You know, they stated that they're only going to go. They're not going to make as many adjustments as they thought they were in terms of the interest. So, I think we're in for a rough year. They said housing market interest rates are going to go up.
That's not good.
No. So it's gonna be tough out in these streets as people out here trying to get loans and do stuff. You don't see people having to figure out how they.
I wonder why they would do that though.
Huh?
Why would they raise? Why would they Why would they actually raise the interest on houses?
Why would they raise interest?
3 hots in the car
for houses.
Free education.
Well, I would say it's mostly because, well, this is how they were framing it. They framed it as because they were raising it is because people would not be getting the loans. So the banks, in order to make more money, would raise the interest rates. in the meantime, so they can make more
money off the people who can actually get the money. I get it. It makes sense.
Not doing as many.
At least that's how it was framed. But yeah, supposedly they said it's going to go like to 8%, and then FHA would be like around 6 or 7.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
Yeah, I mean we're at 6 now, but
still that's a big difference.
No, it is.
Yeah,
you go for a house that's 100. That could be 60, 70,000. That could be a lot, depending on how big of how the price of the house is what I'm trying to say. Depends on it.
I agree.
Yeah. So safe to say, if you are looking at stuff, maybe you should
get an apartment.
Yes, come rent.
Yeah.
They're popping up everywhere.
I know, because they understand the game.
Yeah. No, that's the wave. If you got some property, then you're going to be in for some good old rent. I saw someone post something. They said, I've been seeing this a lot lately. I don't know if it's like there's like a little group, a shadow group for landowner or for landlords, where they got some type of ads going on social media, or they're paying people on social media. But I saw this lady post. She was like, yeah, you would save more money if you rented than if you bought a house. And how she explained it, she was like, because house costs go up. It goes up over time. But for rent, you just pay what you pay, and then that's it. I'm like, wait, what? What kind of place you renting where the rent don't go up?
Every year.
Right.
Neverland.
Oh my gosh.
Fairy tale world.
But I've been seeing it a lot lately, and then there'll be people talking about.
She said some stupid shit. House costs the value of the house goes up.
Right.
So you losing money? What are you talking about?
And she brought up the fact,
right?
What I see the most is in the post, they'll talk about like how what was it, the taxes. So when you buy a new house, if you don't know, if you buy a house, new, whatever the case, or existing home, and after you first get in, especially new, the taxes, what you pay the first year is not going to be the same the second year. And that's only because the house hasn't been there that long for you to understand what the taxes are. It doesn't have a long enough history, right? So again, for new builds especially, when you buy the house, you get in, you may pay, let's say, $3,000 the first year. Because keep in mind, the builder, they don't pay as much on taxes for those houses while they're sitting there not sold. They pay like a small percentage. So when you take it over, you're still paying on that smaller side of percentage for the taxes. And then the next year, after 1 year, they'll get an assessment, understand what your house is, what it's worth, because what it sold for initially. And then they'll raise your taxes up to be more appropriate and align with the area. So I guess this lady had explained, I see this a bunch where people explain saying, man, my mortgage went from $3,000 to $5,000 or $2,000 to $5,000, something crazy, because my taxes went up. And I'm thinking in my head, like, that's where are you staying for your taxes to go up that much? I don't know anywhere where your taxes go up that much, where your mortgage payment jumps up.
Doesn't have
like
to be something to do with
$2,000.
the actual mortgage, right?
Yeah,
for it to be able to raise.
She has
like
that balloon
right?
payment.
Yeah, it has to be.
It has to be something like that for it to actually make that big of a jump.
It's not taxes. Like you have to be like years upon years upon years. You know what I'm saying? Not paying the correct amount. But after a year, they're going to make adjustments. So
this lady's going to get evicted.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, a lot, but that's the thing. A lot of people will. Yeah. I mean, if you're talking about that much of an increase, you're talking about a lot of eviction.
Yeah.
If that's really a thing. Yeah.
What, being evicted?
Well, no, that is a thing. No, Thomas, that's, hey, it's been here, and I don't think it's here to stay.
That shit is real.
It's real deal. I'm talking about as far as like people's payment
from experience, but it's real.
People's payment is actually being like increased like that. Yeah. You know, that's ridiculous. I think that
I don't think that's real.
Well, I don't think that's real. I think there is going to be a lot of phobia when it comes down to like actually buying home because of interest rates right now. I just think a lot of people, just depending on their situation, yes, there is value in obviously ownership and owning a home. Mm-hmm. For some people, depending on how you handle your money, I mean, maybe renting is an option for you. I don't think it's for everyone. I think just like I don't think owning a home is for everyone. I just think it just depends on your situation.
See, I think owning a home is for everyone and should be for everyone. the easiest way to build wealth in this country is to buy a home.
Shit, it's not for the lazy though.
That's what I'm trying to say.
The easiest way.
Well, you gotta take care of it. You gotta have enough money to actually do it. I'm just saying it's a lot that goes into it. I mean, yeah, for a person who's financially secure, I think that is a way, of course. But I think that in general, for people who maybe want to bounce around, who want to do a lot of different things, maybe not sure about what they're trying to do, or if like I said, it's really, I think it's a preference thing. I think it is.
I think it's okay.
I think it's
I push back against this, and it's not necessarily specifically you, even though we're against on opposite ends. It's more so to the idea, because I've heard enough people, social media and whatnot, they explain their view on it. I feel like one, it's a necessity. I think when you really look at the programs they have, it's so easy to slide into a property. Like if you can afford to pay rent, and if let's say you stay like, I don't know, Chicago, you stay anywhere, and let's say in one of the major cities, right? And you're staying downtown, you're paying for a loft, right? If you can afford $2,000 to $3,000 a month for an apartment, you can afford a house.
That wasn't the question though. What if they're not in the right credit standings, or what if they don't have the right credit
standings? What if they don't have the down payment? What if they have the money saved? What if they don't have the money to actually keep up with the place? Maybe they don't want to spend that much time actually keeping it up. Right? It's a lot of different pushbacks, man.
Okay, both of y'all talking at the same time.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
No, sorry, Brittany.
They were saying the same thing, so I got them.
I would say this. My pushback against that is there's programs, FHA. The credit that you have to have is you don't have to have super high credit for FHA.
But to be able to afford a home in a certain area.
You're just assuming everyone's in your situation.
No. Well, again, the area you choose is the area you choose.
Well, what if I could just get an apartment somewhere nicer?
Exactly.
And I'm just like young. I'm out here getting it.
Too, right?
Not all of them. No, they do not.
Yeah, but it's just
really?
you gotta have money.
They do some.
Not all
They do
of them.
some, but I mean, it ain't like it's not extensive. You gotta show taxes. Man. You can lie about your income. You know, you can't lie about your income when you get to you get to actually getting a house.
Oh, you can.
No, well, not anymore. No, you can't anymore. No, they can pull your taxes.
No, they can. I'm saying people do. You shouldn't.
Yeah, but they can pull your taxes. But I mean, at that point, you got to have falsified taxes, and that's playing a different game. I wish you could do that, but I'm just saying. But I'm just saying that's a whole different game. It's different than just lying to some people and they don't know and they can't check your taxes. It's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah,
I think people should do what works for them at the end of the day.
I agree.
So you're saying it's a necessity?
Yeah, because it's the number one way you build wealth.
To you?
No, period. That's a fact.
There's other ways of building wealth.
No, I'm saying. In America, it is the number one way you build wealth.
According to?
That's according to the studies. That's a fact. There's more millionaires from real estate than there is for anything
100%.
Yeah, that might be true, but all I'm saying is don't force that idea on people who maybe just aren't there psychologically.
Okay, I'm gonna unpack this.
Not everybody trying to build wealth.
Everybody's not
let
doing
me,
that.
Let me unpack this for a second.
They might be having wealth from something else, and that's just not their MO, and that's okay.
Where would you?
That could happen.
Where would you psychologically have to be? Like your comment about psychologically, maybe you're not there. What do you mean?
I just mean, like, I look at buying a home just like I look at any other major life decision. It could be like me thinking that marriage should be for everybody. It's the best way to build wealth, and having a stable home.
We got to push it, though. It's the same way.
I don't think that's the same thing.
Okay, I'm giving an example of an idea that I personally have. I have an idea. If you have a 2-parent home, the kids will come out better. They will be more productive people in society, and it trickles down. So I get your philosophy, but all I'm saying, there are people who are not at that mindset. And then same thing you're saying, I'm thinking, why it makes sense to me. Why wouldn't you want to get married and build something together with a person versus trying to struggle on your own? Even if you're not struggling, it's just 2 heads are better than 1. So I'm not saying that you're wrong. All I'm saying is I'm not so adamant to say what I know to be true, think to be true is how it should be. So to go as far as to say it's a necessity is different than saying it's statistics. Statistically, you're right, but a necessity is not a necessity for wealth. It's just one of the ways.
No, I didn't say necessity for wealth. I think it's a necessity.
Well, you said it's a necessity. You did say that.
Yeah, I did say it's a necessity for individuals
to do.
Period. I think if you have a job, if you're working, right, you're bringing in some income. I think one of the things that you should do is figure it out. Again, this is how I feel, my perspective. What you should do is figure out how you can stack your coin and buy you a property. It doesn't have to be the most expensive property.
I want you to finish the whole sentence, though. It's a necessity for what? For who?
For everyone.
A necessity means like I die without it.
Like
yes, I'm saying they
so
should
if I don't own a home, I'm gonna die.
I didn't say that.
So right.
That's a totally different thing.
No, I know.
But then you're saying it's a necessity for
right. Some people say it's a necessity for this. You have to eat because you need to live. You have to do something. Asking a necessity for what?
It's a necessity for you to guarantee your lifestyle.
Okay, but
any lifestyle you're looking to have. Because here's the thing: if you rent, right, and
that statement is not true. I'm sorry. I'm
okay. If you rent, and the landlord says, "All right, cool. I really don't want you guys in this building no more."
Fine.
What's stopping them from kicking you out?
And there's a billion more in every corner. Who cares? Like what?
And every house is an asset. I want to make that very clear. Every house is not an asset.
Pits.
You said every house is not an asset?
No.
Hell no, they not.
I gotta learn this.
How?
If you own it outright, but if you got a mortgage on an asset,
last payment,
you don't own it if you got a mortgage.
If it has equity, it's an asset.
If
it doesn't have equity,
every house don't have equity.
Now I got some friends and some things that ain't like that.
I'm just every
saying,
house is not a
real time right now who
are
in situations that are not an asset. It is actually like they're in a really predicament. They're in a pickle.
And it's not a necessity to live a lifestyle. I know plenty of
people. The proper investing.
Right.
I
know millionaires who don't own a home. And they're not going to run out of money before they die. So your statement is not inaccurate.
Investment is investment. I think as long as you have an investment state of mind, regardless, yes, he is right. You're right about the home aspect of it. Yeah, absolutely.
But not a necessity.
Do I think that everybody has to do it to get money now?
No.
Okay.
That's an extreme.
So you feel like you can build wealth just renting?
Without having a home? Yeah.
Just renting?
Totally.
How would you all do it?
You're assuming that's the only. Yeah, there's other things to invest in.
I can invest in blue chip stocks. I can invest in. I can put my stuff in Bitcoin. I can do. I mean, we talk about Bitcoin.
No, of course.
I'm just saying I can put my money in it. I can put my money into Creative Labs. I can put my money into. I'm just saying I can put my money.
A business.
Right. I'm just saying.
So if I invest in Creative Labs,
out here where you can actually create money.
So if I invest in Creative Labs, but I don't have a home, I won't see a return, or
no, it's
you still get rich.
Look,
thank you. That's all.
I never stated not owning a home doesn't mean you cannot make money or generate wealth, build wealth.
You said you couldn't keep up a lifestyle. You did say that.
I said if you want to guarantee your lifestyle,
but that's not true.
You can't guarantee.
I think for people who aren't good with money.
Okay,
exactly.
Okay, we'll put it like this: you can't guarantee anything if you don't own it. Or if you do not have
stake in it.
Yeah. You can't guarantee, like, it's like this.
So if I have shares in Apple, you telling me I won't guarantee my lifestyle?
Not even Apple's guaranteed.
No. You got shares. Or are you
That's ownership, man.
Okay.
Are you a major stakeholder?
But you're not in control
in that scenario.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're not in control of a home. Like you said, every home is not an asset, depending on what it needs.
Depending on situation, depends on what's happening.
We're not in control of any form of
it. If you buy the home, it's yours.
It ain't if it's bought.
You haven't made the last payment yet.
You
there's still risk.
A mortgage isn't bought.
Right.
A mortgage is paying a note. I'm saying, like, now if it's bought, okay, even then you still got to pay property tax. You live in Missouri, so even if you live in the state of Missouri, guess what? Even if you do own that home, you still got to pay. Oh, you got to pay them for having that home on that land.
You do,
and it never stops.
That you do, but that's pennies in compared to what you pay for rent.
I'm not saying.
By and large,
we're just saying there's other ways.
No, I'm just saying there's other ways.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
We all agree.
You making it sound like it's the way, and that's all.
I didn't say that. I just said people should get a home. That's what they like. If I had to be either rent or buy a home, I would say buy a home. Now, I'm not saying there's not circumstances where you can't just instantly get a home. Of course, you got to stack your coins, save up, right? But I don't want to pretend like it's this thing that's totally removed and you have to be in a perfect situation to be able to acquire a home, a house.
Oh no.
And
too many people have them.
And I'm saying that from the standpoint, there's too many programs out here that exist where the government either will give you money to purchase something, right? Or they'll make it easier for you to go about your purchase. There's just way too many programs, right? So that's where I'm pushing back in general, right?
Some people don't have the desire.
And then Jay's saying too, if you're going to work towards it anyways, you're going to work towards rent and you're not going to own the house. Why don't you work towards getting a home and something you own?
Some people don't have the desire and that's their right. As simple as that.
And that's the part for me. and this not to anyone individually, but that's the part to me it's hard for me to understand. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like I don't understand like the purpose of renting, right? Just like the purpose of leasing a car. I get it, right? But I don't understand like
car way different.
Right.
Yeah, car is way different. But I was trying to use that easy example.
Right off the lot.
But I just don't understand the idea of long term. I'm speaking not necessarily to people who are like, look, I'm renting right now, but I'm about to buy something, or in the future, I'm going to buy something. I'm talking about the people who's like, look, I'm renting and I'm renting forever. That's how literally I feel. It. Really?
Yeah.
That you would rent forever?
I don't mind.
Man.
It's my life. Yeah, I don't care.
That's fair. That's fair. Like, I mean, look.
I mean, it's fair.
Everybody can do what you want to do.
I'm just saying it's a fair thing. I think that as long as a person, I guess my thing would be as long as you have a some kind of objective for your money. Like if you got a plan for your money,
of course,
I don't think it really matters. I mean, yeah, if you need something that potentially could make you money, it's going to cost you money, and then you're going to have to be a little bit more disciplined, but it can help you also stack money. You can borrow again, so you got something that you can do some things with, make some moves with. But you got to have a plan, though. But you got to have a plan. Either way, though, Jay, you got to have a plan.
You can.
I'm telling you, either way it goes, man. A person who's done with money is done with money. It just doesn't matter.
I've never.
Whether you have a home, I know people got homes who retarded.
I never once.
What's the proper word? I didn't say that. Yo, what's the proper terminology?
Financially challenged. Financially challenged.
I'm laughing. No, not funny. He said. I'm just saying.
I would say this. I don't agree with, nor have I ever stated, or nor am I saying that you should be irresponsible, right? With your, or someone who's irresponsible with money is going to get a house on something they're responsible. No, there's a million ways you can take anything that you.
But what you said was but if there's a renter who's really good with money, that's what I'm trying to say is that there are different walks for different strokes.
Jay said if you rent, you ain't good with money.
Who said that?
That's how he acted.
I didn't say that.
Oh, he said that?
I didn't say that.
Hey, that's a Jay comment. Hey.
If you rent, him up. You ain't about your necessities. You ain't good with money.
Oh, yeah, we clipping that.
I didn't say that, but I do think if you renting and you paying that rent, and you paying that rent, right? At some point, you're going to sit down, and this, again, I'm talking to the people, I guess you specifically, because since you said it, that is saying I'm just going to rent forever. At some point, you're going to sit down and go like, I spent X amount of money per year on giving to somebody else, right? Now, if you have it on your business, I think that's smart because you can write that off 100%. Now, if you're doing it on your personal, you can't write that off, right? And I'm not saying everyone needs to go out and get a business. I'm just saying like the justification in my head, how I reconcile that if I was like, I'm just going to rent forever and that's under my personal, it's like, man, I'm giving someone, if I'm paying $1,000 a month, I'm giving someone $12,000, right?
I want somebody to do that to me.
Of course. But to do that, you have to what?
You have to own something.
Come on now.
There's folks that need to rent for the people that own to make money.
That's true.
Everybody's
got a cycle.
That's
it's
true.
a world, man.
You know, you're right.
It is a big circle.
You know what?
He's talking people out of his property. You know what? Jay's right. Jay, you know what? You know what, buddy? You're absolutely correct.
Don't buy anything. Just keep renting.
I'm like, should I not rent this space because I'll never own it? Like, you're paying for something.
That's different.
No, but you're paying for something though. When you rent anything, you're paying for this. You're occupying it. I'm sleeping there. I'm showering there. I'm paying for something.
I like this because I like this talk because it is very much like that. It's like, okay, you are getting exactly what you want from it, and maybe I don't want to be completely here. I want to come home. I don't want to worry about if the damn toilet don't work or if the roof start leaking. I don't want to deal with it. I just want to come here. I want to lay my head. I want to stack my money, and I want to invest in other things.
You can get that with a house too.
But let them do
with
what
the house. If something goes wrong, you got to pay for it. What you mean?
Get a warranty.
Get a warranty. Come on, man.
You pay a monthly fee for the warranty.
You really stuck on this.
You better learn how to use a plunger.
Yeah. What if there's a really major issue? Let's say you get an older house.
Learn how to use one of them snakes.
Home warranty. If your roof mess up, you call the insurance company, they fix it.
Mentally, I don't
insurance
even feel
companies
like
are very good about that. And insurance companies are not good about that.
They're just as good as the landlords.
They're just as good as everybody. That's what I'm saying. It's the same world we all live in. Exactly. I've been trying to say is that either way it goes, it's just we live in this world where it's like it just depends on what you really want to deal with and what you don't want to deal with.
So both.
Well, I mean, that's bad. I mean, if your shit's broke, your shit's broke.
I think people just do what works for them, whether mentally or financially. You're assuming it's a financial factor or a wealth factor. Sometimes people just don't have the mental capacity to even start all those steps that you're referring to, and that is okay. Like with any other thing, we're talking about home ownership, but that same could be for relationships, same could be for career choices. I might think, oh, wow, he's so dope at this. Why didn't he pursue XYZ? I'm not going to try to convince you of that. It works for your life. So to even say like somebody needs to do this, that's just far-fetched for me.
I just don't subscribe to being the subjectiveness of looking at houses versus renting. I don't think it's subjective. I think it's intentional. It's a choice you're making. Now you can either be informed or uninformed in that choice, right? And I think if you're informed, then yeah, use it to your benefit. But if you're uninformed, then you need to figure out how to get informed, or maybe go around, talk to people. You know what I mean? Open yourself up to, receiving some information so you can put yourself in a different situation. Look, I knew a guy who, I knew more than a couple people, you know what I'm saying? They stayed with their parents, right? Which I think is a smart strategy, right? Stay with your parents. He stayed, and he would, different people would talk about at lengths about it. But in this particular person, they would talk about like, look, I'm able to take my whole check and stack it. Now, everyone's situation is different.
Break his folks off with nothing?
Everyone's situation is different.
You saved the whole check?
Yeah. Everyone's situation.
That's just greed. That ain't smart.
No.
But I mean, if you have that luxury, that's a luxury.
And then you said like some people are uninformed. You're assuming that they're not doing something because of a lack of information. What if they have the information and they still don't want to subscribe to the idea that you have?
You fall in the first category. I said you're informed and you're doing it because you have an end goal, right? You have some type of strategy in mind. You're moving into it intentionally, versus someone who's uninformed, or as you say, ignorant, and they're just, hey, they out here living a lifestyle that's really not indicative of where they're trying to go.
No, that was only two options. They're informed, but they don't want to do what you're suggesting they should do.
Yeah. I said if you were informed and you still don't want to do it, that still could be fine.
Okay.
Because you have some strategy, some path forward that you, an end goal in mind. That could be, hey, I'm going to rent I'm going to keep renting, but you know what? I'm going to invest in four other areas, right? To gain assets. Gotcha. Maybe I go and buy artwork and I have artwork. That's an asset, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe I acquire assets through something else, right? My comments earlier was buying a house, buying a home, buying land, more specifically, is the easiest way to acquire an asset. Only because, not that art is like more expensive than land. It's just that people are not typically as knowledgeable about art and some other things that get very specific. And land is a little bit more accessible. Homes are more accessible if you understanding going out to see, okay, if I buy a house that's $100K, right? And I sit on it, I could potentially, and I pay, let's say I pay it down, right? If I bought a house that's $100K and I paid it down to $20,000, right? That's not equity that I got off of it going up. That's money that I put in that doesn't go down, right?
You should go into real estate.
I am.
Okay.
I'm in it. That's why I'm so passionate about it. I think it's a beautiful thing, but I'm also a big believer in diversifying your portfolio. I don't think you should have it in one thing. In this moment, I'm only speaking of real estate. That's why I said I don't disagree with the comments you said earlier, Ash, where you're talking about, hey, make sure you could go and buy stocks. Yes, do that. Buy crypto. Yes, do that. I think you should diversify.
Buy businesses.
Yeah.
I mean, you can buy businesses that aren't even existing businesses that are on pennies on a dollar, or people retiring or whatever. Yeah. It's options.
Yeah. You're saying what we said from the beginning.
What? You said what I said? I'm saying what you guys said?
Yeah, like we're getting to.
Yeah, we're coming to consensus. I think the only thing that we differ on in opinion is I don't think it's as subjective as maybe you and Ash has stayed up to now. I don't know what Thomas lie.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's my preference. I understand there's a preference. People have a preference, and I understand owning homes is another. Like you said, it's a you have to do things. It's work that you might not want to do. So my preferences would be to own, but other folks, I understand if they don't want to.
I don't understand. I'm sorry. No, I understand. I get it. I get it if your situation doesn't allow you to. That's always going to make sense. I think there's a lot of people who could and don't know they can, right? I think there's people who could and maybe view, who are able to, and then they don't actually understand that they can do it because in their situation they see it as something that's that much more costly.
What about, we're talking about homes now, right? Would you want to own your apartment? You can do that. You can own a loft. It's just ownership, something that, yeah. You know what I mean? You don't have to own like a 4-bedroom, 3-bedroom house.
That's true.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? You can still have ownership in your condo or apartment.
Yeah, but like you said, if your portfolio is diversified, it doesn't have to be on my radar. I'm sorry, it just doesn't have to be. There's other things.
We agree to disagree.
Please do.
No, but all right. So it's about that time. What's our consensus? What's our final thoughts on today's conversation?
I would say that for me, I'm gonna wrap it up with this: is that everybody can do whatever they want. So like whether you worship the devil, you love God, whether you want to talk shit like you don't want to talk shit, you want to be safe, whether you want to own a home, you want to live in an apartment and rent, or you can obviously you can own an apartment.
We talked about if you want to murder, go ahead.
If you want to murder, if you don't want to murder, if you want to cheat.
Okay.
Either all I'm saying is it is your life and you can do whatever you would like to do with it.
Okay.
And I'm here for it.
Brittany, you agree with that?
No, to a certain extent, yeah, I do.
That's my closing statement.
All right, what's
leave 3-6 alone, man. They make good music. If they want to talk about numbers, they're just numbers. I thought they were just numbers when I was a kid. You know what I mean?
It didn't go that deep.
Yeah, it didn't go that deep.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, Brittany.
I agree with Ash to a certain extent. Just people are gonna do what they want to do, and at the end of the day, we're all our own people, and so. Yeah, that part I agree with. I'm not going to go as far as say if they want to worship the devil, but that's on them. But
I mean, it's totally on them, though. That's all I'm saying.
Well, yeah, you're right. You're right.
I'm not like saying, yo, that's
no,
cool.
You're right.
But
yeah, I like that we can have a difference of opinions, and at the end of the day, we're gonna be friends, and that's all that matters. So, try to take that mentality into life as a whole. People sometimes lose sleep over these conversations. Like it's not that big of a deal.
It's really not.
It's really not that deep. Like I'm gonna leave, and I'm not gonna be thinking about y'all.
Dang, that's a knife.
I mean, dang, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that. I didn't mean it like that.
I ain't gonna think about none of y'all.
No, I didn't mean it like that.
I'm speeding off right now.
I just meant
is this podcast over?
I just meant because I'm gonna be asleep. That's what I meant.
I have amnesia right now. Now, so I guess for me, final thoughts is, dang, we jumped around a lot today. So I would simply say, when it comes to whatever you're trying to do in life, sit down, take some time, look into what can get you to your goals. That may be buying a house. I can agree in the sense of if you want to build wealth, you can do that in numerous different ways. You don't just have to get that through buying a house. But I challenge everyone who is currently living in an apartment, right?
To read Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yes. Read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Take some time out.
Endorsing people now. Yep. I need some dough for that.
There you go. Take some time out to gain some understanding about just real estate overall. You don't have to be a realtor or nothing. You don't have to get super, super in detail. But just understand what programs are out there that can serve you, right? Because then the more you're armed with information, the more something that maybe seems so distant can be something that's actually closer and proximity of you being able to actually accomplish or do. So I would say educate yourself and everything be good. So we out.
Peace.